It is a little bit different. I'm a little bit nervous. I think we're live. Please, hello, welcome. I don't know what to do. I'm not used to it because we haven't got a countdown this week. We've gone straight into it, guys. So please just bear with us for a moment. We just need to make sure that we have got everything in place. My phone is off. Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, the 9th of April. Have we got any notifications, Paul, that we could be live? We are trying new software today, so...
I've got nothing coming through my end. Oh, hang on. I've got no notifications, but we are live.
We are live. Are we live? That is great. It is... we should be live. We've got one viewer, so someone's watching. Someone is watching. Who that is, I don't know. For anyone that's going to be listening on Spotify this week, it is going to be absolute car crash, because we are trying new software this week. So we are trying our best. As you can see, it all looks a little bit different. So if you are in the chat, please let us know that you are there. I have shared it, so we should be getting somewhere around. But let's start off. Let's cut to the chase. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Journey Through the EGH Talk Show, live and exclusive on all platforms. I do think that we're even live on TikTok tonight as well, which for everybody is quite amazing. It looks like we've got viewers coming in. It looks like we've got people coming in. As you can see, it does look a little bit different. I can even poke my skeleton's eyes out somewhere like that. Paul can't see it, but I can. I am getting a few notifications. We are. So please let us know in the chat, guys. We will be doing a show tonight for you, but I am just going through all the processes of just double checking everything. That we're live on Essex Ghost Hunters on YouTube as well, which is absolutely amazing, that we've got this going. Tonight we will be talking about... Paul, can you just hold the fort? Can you just engage for a minute while I go and sort something out? Can you just do that for a minute?
Go. Well, at the moment, all I've got live on my end is the Facebook feed, so I can't see who's in the chat unless it's through Facebook. So what I will do, I'll see if I can go live on YouTube. I think on YouTube. But as Russ was saying, I believe we are going to be talking about Artemis 2 and the moon this evening. So, why is that not coming up? It says, oh, here we go. Right, so, unfortunately, I can't see no comments on that either.
Hello, I'm back. Hello, everybody. I do apologise. Right, let's crack on with the show. We've got people sharing, we've got people liking, we've got 2 viewers. I haven't broadcast anything really. We have got people coming in, saying we're working on that. We are not going to link the mobile phone just at the moment. So even if you want to call, don't, because I won't take any calls tonight. All right. Let's explain. I can't hear the person. Apparently, they can't hear the person next to you.
Person next to me?
No. Paul. Can you, Mr. Paul? Can you?
Hello.
Can you all hear Paul? This is what we've got to see. Can you all hear Paul?
Hello. Welcome to Journey Through the EGH Talk Show
I can hear Paul, which is good.
Right, let me turn my volume up a minute, mate, and I'll say something and see if it comes through my end.
Can we just still no? Apparently, no one can hear Paul. What are we watching on Essex Plane Spotting? You are. I can hear Paul.
Sorry. So I couldn't hear it, but now it's coming through.
So we. Sorry, guys. It is going to be a bit of one of these shows tonight because we are trying a new platform. So it could be YouTube that could be the issue. I don't know, but I'm just got. We're just checking. We're just checking it all out. If you start to talk, Paul.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
It could be a YouTube thing, though.
I'm listening on Facebook.
And can you hear yourself?
I could and I can't. I've got to wait because there's quite a delay, so I have to wait for it to come through again now.
I wonder if it's anything to do with me turning you down. I wonder if it's coming through mine.
I can just hear it on Facebook.
I wonder if it's coming through me then. Well, that wouldn't be great if it's coming through. It's coming through my feed. This is going to be a test show. Let's just say it's going to be a test show. Maybe let's just iron out the things. If we get to some form of show, we'll make it work. But this is about sort of getting Paul speaking, and I don't quite know how. I can hear Paul loud and clear. That's the problem I'm having. Oh.
So now, have you turned me up because I can hear myself speaking?
I have.
Through you now.
Yeah, I have turned you up.
Loud and clear. Sorry.
But you're really light, aren't you? So I don't know how to. Properties.
So I can hear it. I can hear myself through Facebook, all right.
I hear you now, Paul. Right, apparently everyone can hear us. Right. If you can all hear us, let's just have Paul talking for a little bit. Hello, Paul. How was your week? How was your week, Paul?
It's not been too bad, to be fair, mate. Not as stressful as yours.
That's the main thing, isn't it? That's what we all want to hear. We all want that nice, sunny feeling of the weather, don't we? It's just the weather makes everyone feel so much better.
It's been a long, miserable winter and all, isn't it? You know, it's constantly raining, constantly cold, so it's nice to have a bit of a break.
That's what it feels like, isn't it? But do you see, like today, it's so nice just to get into your car and read on the dashboard, 24 degrees, and then you have to put the air conditioning on.
Oh, it's lovely, wasn't it?
I do think we're still having problems with your sound, Paul. I do think we're having problems with your sound. Why that is, I don't know. Um, I've got you up on full. Monitor and output. I'm going to try that. Or you sound like you can hear me.
No, for some reason it started again.
Let's see that. I've just changed something. Monitor and output. So, let's have a look. People are saying they can't, but I've got no one that is really sort of in the chat that's sort of helping. But we need to definitely check Paul's sound or guest sounds coming in. So I don't really know what to do, to be fair. Oh my God, I'm pressing buttons that I shouldn't.
So what platform are we saying you can't hear me on?
I think, well, the only one I'm seeing is YouTube. The only comments I'm getting is YouTube, people on YouTube. So please, if you are watching on any other format, Facebook or TikTok, please, please, please let us know that you are hearing.
Well, I'm listening to YouTube now, and that's coming through. In fact, I'm coming through louder than you.
Which I think is quite a good thing. I do think it could just be the system dialing in. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, YouTube's good on my end.
YouTube's good. So, well, let's just crack on with the show. Let's talk about it, and let's see what we do get back, which is the main thing. Right, loud and clear. Something seems to have engaged. It must be that. That I can hear you. People must have heard that coming through. Right. So let's crack on with the show tonight. We've got to talk about something. We've used the first 16 minutes. If you're listening on Spotify, I do apologise, profusely, but we've got to iron out the cracks for future endeavours. How we work it. It might be a case of maybe getting a mic or something sent to you, Paul, and see. I might borrow a USB mic, so it coming right up. I don't know. But we'll play that one by ear as we talk. I don't know if it's something my end as well, where it's sort of feeding back. I don't know if the sound is... I suppose the only thing that I can do is...
Well, if it's working at the moment, then it's working.
Keep talking, Paul. I'm going to give it a good talk for at least 10 seconds, because I'm going to mute my microphone. So it's what I don't want it to be doing is coming through my microphone now, which I think might be the case. So I'm going to mute my microphone. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, okay. I'm going to turn my volume up on my end, just to see if I'll get it coming back through. Although I am on Facebook again now, so we'll see. I'm just waiting for the delay. Yeah, good on Facebook.
Right, I'm happy. I'm happy that we may have sound now. Okay, so thank you for everybody who has just put up with that for the last 20 minutes of car crash. As I say, we was supposed to be having a guest on tonight, Gary Heseltine, and as you have noticed, there is only 2 of us tonight. Without going into too much detail, because it's not for me to go in, but let's just say Simon and our family have had some great news this week, but we will let you know in due course. But as all I want to say is, from everybody at the Journey Through the EGH Talk Show and all our listeners, that Simon, we've all got you. We're all behind you. All right, sending all our love from everybody to you. All right, mate. Keep it going, and we'll see you in a few weeks' time when you're all rested up and ready to go and rant. All right, you can put the rants to right. All right. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a little chat. Me and Paul, we're going to go back to old school, aren't we? We're going to go back to something that we love, a little bit of conspiracy theory-esque, aren't we, Paul?
Of course we are.
You know, we are going to go and talk about everything that we love about the conspiracy of this wonderful mission to the moon. Which we don't think is true. Would you say the least?
Well, something certainly ain't right, mate, in my eyes. But there you go.
Let's start off with the beginning, because obviously they land, I believe, tomorrow, don't they? Around 10 o'clock tomorrow night, I think, isn't it?
It's gone quick, isn't it?
It's gone really quick. It's gone really quick. And you think, you know, we're going to pick it apart, okay? We are going to pick it apart as much as we can. I'm not seeing any comments coming in, so I don't know if that's bits not working or whatever, but, you know, because I'm using a new system, it may not be sending notifications out. But let's start off with everything that went on from day dot. This was a mission that was halted a couple of times, wasn't it? It was sent backwards and forwards, but we got about 9 days ago, we finally got liftoff. Okay, now, I think it was quite clear to see that something left this planet. The rocket, the Artemis 2, left this planet. We saw that. I don't think that could have been fate.
I see something take off. I didn't see it leave the planet.
No. That's what I'm saying. But I think we would have seen it land. I don't know where that would have landed without no one seeing it.
Well, that's usually in the ocean, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think you would have seen that. You were seeing it from some distance. I think you would have seen, it went past planes. Which I understand. I do get it. I know where you're going. It looked like it was arcing. Which it always looks like it's arcing. But I'm assuming that's quite natural. I generally believe a rocket has entered space. Okay? Do I think anyone was on that rocket, or Artemis 2, is a whole nother kettle of fish. That's how I'm seeing it at this moment in time.
Yeah, good observation. That it's got that hint of. Well, no, I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx it. The Challenger, wasn't it? When I don't think there was no one on that rocket.
No,
because they've almost all been seen to this day using the same names, believe it or not, exactly the same names. 3 of them, I think. And they come out and say, "Oh no, yeah, I was his identical. 3 of them identical twins." One of them's teaching out of a university. I mean, yeah, I don't think they were actually on that rocket.
No, I don't think there was too much, in my eyes, time delay for, there was a massive time, 4 hours sitting on that, don't get me wrong, I'm assuming it would take that long to set off this big, massive rocket.
Yeah.
We're talking about the umpteen sort of, wasn't there, litres of hydrogen oxide or whatever it was, it mixed together and I think it left something like 1,000 litres per minute or something as it was lifting off. So I get it, I do get it, and if it had people in and has gone up to space, then 4 hours seems a generosity.
Mm.
I don't see why it took four. Why would you sit someone in that fine little thing for 4 hours? Is all they've really got to do is belt in. In my eyes, look, it's probably a lot more to it, isn't there? And if you're sending,
Yeah.
let's take it to the fact is that we've got people in that rocket. Let's look at it that way first of all.
Mm.
I'm torn. I'm really torn between why would you put someone in that. I think that you have been watching Capricorn 1 too often. Don't know what that was. Capricorn 1.
Don't know what that is.
No, nor do I. Hello, Nayland 007. Welcome to the show. But I just don't feel that it was too long. It was too long. I wouldn't want to be in that position if I was in that rocket. I would want to be in there for an hour maximum, knowing that I'm being up in space in that confined. For that
See, that didn't really bother me. That the 4 hours in the rocket thing, I kind of get it. You know, I mean, I don't. Let's. I'd like nothing more for this to be true. I really hope it is true, but something's not adding up for me. And I think if it is true, this is a major milestone. I certainly don't believe we've done it in '69. I mean, the footage is just awful. When you look back, it's like something from Button Moon. But the 4 hours in the rocket at the beginning, I mean, they've trained for that. They know that they're going to be sat there for that sort of long. You know, they've trained for so long to do this mission. 4 hours extra out of a 10-day mission, it's not that much. That's not what bothers me. It's the footage and the stuff that we're getting back now. To me, is easily picked apart. Why would you not have 360 cameras all around that rocket, shooting out the whole time, watching the Earth as it goes away from it? You know, live footage. Let's see everything live, you know. But they're not. They're all still pictures, almost identical to what was taken before. And then they set out a picture of the Earth during the day, and then 12 hours later of a night. 12 hours difference. And yet the only difference was one was light and one was dark. All the cloud formations were exactly the same. Exactly the same. You just don't. In 12 hours, it just did nothing was making sense to me on that front.
No, I do get it, and there is a lot to pick apart with everything that has gone on. You know, for me, the biggest question is why. Why? That is the biggest question. Why did we need to do what they've done?
In what way? What do you mean?
Just why?
What go to the moon?
Yeah, well, we've gone around the moon, and that's. I sent you that funny clip of that guy saying, "What was the point? What was we expecting to see? A Starbucks on the other side of the moon?" Now that's exactly how I thought. What are we expecting to see that isn't on the on the front of the moon that we can see? Oh, Paul has gone. This doesn't help me because Paul has disappeared. Paul, come back. Where did you go, Paul?
I don't know.
You're back.
Yeah.
You are back. You disappeared, but you are back.
Oh, that's all right.
You just went off. But yeah, it just doesn't make no sense to me. Why did we lose comms for 40 minutes? Why? That doesn't make sense to me either.
I've got no answers for that one, because it's like the same playbook, isn't it? Because they lost comms on the supposed original mission when they landed on the moon. So you can't even say it's because they're around the back of the moon, the dark side of the moon.
It just I don't get what the basis of this mission was. If they come out and said the basis of this mission was to get the furthest point that humans have ever gone in space before, I'm all for it.
Mm.
Because that is what has possibly happened. No man, human, has travelled that far in space before, if they're on this Artemis 2. We've got all the and things like that, which I think we can take a little bit for granted. I haven't seen anything too in my face. I know they sent the one with the pocket, didn't they, or something? A bag that floated up, didn't it? And it went. There was something behind someone's head or something as well.
Yeah. You had the red spot on the food packet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That as it brushed through it, past his face, it went through his face, and then the red spot disappeared as it spun away. And why was there a red spot on it anyway? That's prime green screen thing, isn't it? You have dots everywhere so they can place it. And
Stuart, it's Stuart. You can't see the messages, I don't think, Paul. But Stuart,
no, I
to
can't.
be fair, what was the point of the original moon landing? Just to prove the US could do it?
Well, I think that's the only reason to me that was faked anyway. Just to do, it was a whole space race thing, wasn't it? Just to beat everyone else.
Just for I think that's Stuart. It's not my normal feed, so I can't see the pictures beside it. I think it's Stuart. Do you believe it was real, Nayland 007? Do you believe the moon landing was real, and do you think this one is real as well? Is there anything, even when the pictures come back, I know that we're cross-referencing the two worlds, two pictures of Earth together, wasn't there? And they were virtually identical pictures, one in 19 whatever it was, and then
69, wasn't it? Well, yeah. If anything, the 69 one looked clearer.
Yeah, they didn't look anything too different to me in the pictures. Don't get me wrong, if they are seeing them pictures and they are seeing what these pictures, that must be truly amazing, mustn't it? It must be. You can't put into words, I don't think, if they're generally seeing what they're seeing. Does that make sense in what I'm trying to say?
No, it does. It does. And you can only put yourself in their shoes, can't you? If you was up there in the rocket, I mean, I'd spend my whole time looking out the window. every second I got that I could do it, I would do it. But I heard an interesting comment on a video the other day. I don't know if I sent it to you. And the fella said, the difference between when the last went up there till now, you're talking, 50 years. Now, the technological advances we've got now to then, especially when it comes to cameras and recording equipment and things like that, and the zoom you can get on some of this equipment. Why can't you video the Earth as you're coming away from it? Zoom in. At any given time, you've got thousands, tens of thousands of planes in the sky. At least zoom in on one of them.
Yeah.
And so, when you're looking at the Earth like that, when you've got one flying that way, that plane would be upside down. Zoom into that plane flying upside down.
Yeah.
Why are we not seeing it? We're not seeing nothing. We've got thousands of satellites around the Earth. You can't zoom into one of them and just go, oh, look, there's one.
And sort of on that same principle, looking back and zooming in, why did any telescopes pick up the actual...
I haven't seen one.
But they can zoom
in. I'm not saying that they didn't, but I haven't seen one.
We can definitely see a crater on the moon. Surely we should see something moving around or moving towards it.
Well, of course they are. Yeah, with some of the strength of the telescopes we got on Earth.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that.
No, even when they just left, you'd think that they would have picked something up.
Yeah, it is, Stuart. Sorry, Stuart. I say a new system. I've not seen the picture, so I'm not used to just seeing names. Stuart does believe in the landings were real. It's the waste of money annoys him.
Well, yeah, it's what we brushed on, wasn't it, last week?
Yeah.
What was it, saying like 20 billion to get this rocket up?
Yeah.
Whereas Musk and that can use 12 million on a reusable rocket.
It just fascinates me. Do you know? It fascinates me, the stats that even on like the money side of things, we're traveling, I think it was something like 3,000 miles an hour through space to get there. I think it was something like that, or 2,500, something along them lines.
Well, no, that's the other thing, Russ, because when he gave his interview, he was saying, we're going to be traveling at 25,000 miles an hour, which is something like 7 to 10 times the speed of a bullet. Right?
Sure,
now, when you see that land test of that vehicle on the rail going 5,500, 6,000 miles an hour, in a blink of an eye, it's gone. Nothing's going to survive that. Now, I get it. If you're in space, it's different, but they're supposed to reach that speed as they're taking off and as they're making their way into space. I just don't... things like that just don't add up to me. They really don't.
So it is going 20... it's only given... It's going... At this moment in time... Hold on,
yeah.
My quiet. People are saying I'm very quiet. Sorry, guys, that's my fault. So quick Google. So blame Google, not me. I just said, how fast is Artemis 2 travelling now? Right now, 23,840 miles an hour. Right. That is stupid amount of speed. That's stupid.
It's just not believable, mate. I'm sorry.
It doesn't sound believable, does it? Now, look, we're not, excuse the pun, rocket scientists. And for all intents and purposes, that could be the speed it's going. Okay, it could be. But, it's just like, I suppose it's that same principle in my head of that star you're looking up in the sky is potentially not there because it's gone. It's like, well, that doesn't work. So I'm looking at it, but you're telling me it's not there because it burnt out millions
Yeah,
of
but
years
that's
ago.
just the speed of light, isn't it?
But
How
yeah, but
long it takes for
still,
that
it
light to
doesn't
get there.
work in my head. I can't get that into my head. Just like if someone's telling me they're travelling 24,000 mile an hour, wow. Just wow. It can't.
What about space debris? It'll
Yeah.
only have to hit a pebble at that speed and the whole thing's obliterated. It just,
That's a whole another thing, because I watched a stupid TikTok video of what happens if you was to fall out the capsule. Okay.
well, you disintegrate, wouldn't you, at that?
No. If you
Space is different, I suppose, isn't it?
in lower orbit, you wouldn't. You would get caught up in a vortex, going around, around, and around, and around, and around. Okay, and then, but is what would kill you is the little space pebbles would pierce your suit and go straight through you. Higher 50 wild hogs. Thank you for joining.
You said it right.
Huh?
You said it right.
I did say it right. I'm getting used to it now. That's right. I'm getting used to it now. So, and that's what was in my head. Is like nothing can, this this is in my eyes. The thing looks like tin. It looks like tin, right? Not as bad as the Indian rocket. Don't get me wrong. Okay, that was made of fiberglass, I feel, but this one's made of tin. I don't know if it's causing something to go at such speed at 24,000 miles per hour, and it causes like obviously a windshield, so anything coming towards it is just going to go around it. I don't know.
But it's in a vacuum, so that wouldn't happen, would it? That would only happen if you've got atmosphere around you. That's how you can afford to go that speed.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be some, I hate to use the word, science behind it. There has to be. 50 Wild Hogs has put, we are travelling together on Earth at 66 miles an hour around the sun.
66,000 miles an hour.
66,000, miles per hour around the sun.
Apparently.
Yeah. Which, to be fair though, but I can comprehend that because we're travelling through space in my eyes as well. But we're talking about them in a capsule that is no big to sort of a VW camper van, if that, going through space. The more you pick it apart, 50 Wild Hogs, do you believe in it? Is it something that you believe in? Do you believe they're up there or do you not? Do you believe in the moon landings? Another question to you. So there's too many things that just doesn't make sense. I suppose there's science behind it, Paul, somewhere. There has to be, because...
Yeah, well, I mean, we've looked at this quite a lot, haven't we? When they're saying like the difference between the geocentric and the heliocentric models and things like that we're travelling around space and the moon's travelling around us and we're following the sun and the sun's following the galaxy and all this malarkey. But they're all theories. Nothing can be measured. There's not. When you look at the people that study this, it's all theories. There's not one thing they can actually measure it to say that is exactly what we're doing.
Exactly.
It's just theories that have been taken as gospel, and that's how we're going to teach it. This is what's happening. That's what's happening.
50 Wild Hogs, as much as I would love that to happen, he's saying that he would like to call in, but tonight we're trying this new system, and I just don't think that we would get the call through.
It just about got ourselves listened to.
So tonight, no. As much as I'd like to say yes, it would probably work, I just don't think it would. But if you just hold fire for about 15-20 minutes, sort of towards the end of the show, we will try that call, okay, just to see if it works for the benefit of me and knowing if we can make it work.
It sounds to me like he's itching to get on. He's like that. No, let me get on. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly how it works.
But look, I'll get the headphones ready, okay? I'll get the headphones ready, and I will plug them into whatever socket that I'm going to plug that into. And let's see if I can hear you. Can you just do a test, Paul?
Hello, hello, hello.
Right, I can hear you. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. Let the phone turn on and let me connect it to the Bluetooth, and then we'll take a call. And he's right. You're absolutely right, Paul. I'm itching. Laugh out loud. Hello, Heidi. Heidi's watching as well. So good evening, Heidi. Welcome to the show. Space is actually quite empty, to be honest. So the chance of some bullet coming through the capsule would be rare. But is it empty? Is it empty regarding... It's got to be meteors, though, isn't there? It was... Sorry, just on that thing as well, is that... Did you see the video of what they have to do in case of a radiation solar flare? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that was quite good. That was quite laughable.
What about they're going through the Van Allen radiation belt?
No,
so what's the difference?
Is what they were told to do. So they had to practice it today. There was a practice today, okay, of they had to pack the side of the capsule with all their luggage.
What they got in their luggage? 16 inches of fucking lead.
I do not know, okay, but there was a picture of them putting all their suits around the side and everything like that, which I thought was quite funny. It did make me laugh. So I'm thinking, seriously, really, right? We've got loads of. We bounce radar signals off nearby planets like Venus and measure the return time. By doing that, we can measure the distance of speed. So, there is science behind it.
What's this, the speed of the shuttle?
I'm
Or the
assuming.
speed of the Earth moving?
Yeah, we'll try and get him to call in a minute. Just bear with me, and we will go from there. All right. I'm just going to try and connect the Bluetooth. You know, this could be absolutely, for anybody, this could be car crash beyond car crash, couldn't it? I'm hoping he's got the number because he's going to ask me for the number and I don't know the number. Right. 50 Wild Hogs, when you're ready, call in. All right? Call in.
You got the number?
I don't know if we're going to get feedback or anything like that. 1212, it's going to be on that, isn't it? So, call in when you are ready, and we'll see what we can do. I don't know the number off the top of my head, so that's going to be a
I did
problem.
write it down. I remember writing it down ages ago. I just can't find it.
So let's wait for that to come through. We'll carry on talking. It's a bit rubbish to think that we went to the moon and we've gone backwards in technology as well. Have I got the number? Am I being stupid?
I remember
must have
definitely
written it
writing it
down
down.
somewhere,
Oh,
mustn't I?
hang on. Here we go. I think I've got it, Russ.
Go for it.
07487
Yep.
331688. Does that sound right? Or I could have just give you a complete random number.
I think you might have. I think it's 07. 9 444 33529, something like that.
Oh,
Um,
I'll give
hopefully,
someone's number out.
someone's random number's just gone out, so don't call that one. Bleep that out.
Or find out who it is.
Yeah.
Or have their number written down. Let me know.
Yeah, to be fair, I just don't know the number off. We'll wait. He's having technical issues at the moment, so on a side issue, please watch Capricorn 1. It's a brilliant film.
Capricorn 1. I haven't even heard of that one.
So, but this is what we're saying, right? The moon landings. Okay, we both feel, I know Stuart thinks they're real, and we're not here to put anyone down. That's not what it is. But for myself and Paul, I think there's too much evidence out there. He got a double glazing company. Are you getting your windows done, Paul?
It was written underneath the EGH talk show. So I was like, that's got to be the number.
I've got the number up here, I'm sure it is. Right, it's 07944435529. Okay? I'll do it again. 07944435529. Okay, so that's the number. All right. So I will wait. If you want to ring in, 50 Wild Hogs, feel free to. Stuart, if you want to ring in, anyone who wants to ring in, let's try it, because I don't know if it's going to work.
Why not? It's a test show. We said it's a test show. Let's see if it works.
Bear with me. Here we go. Hello there. Can you hear us?
We can hear you, yes. How are you?
I'm all good. Paul, can you hear her?
All good.
Hello there. Welcome to the show. Thank you for calling in.
You're more than welcome.
I'll call you by your YouTube name, 50 Wild Hogs, just in case. I know who you are, all right? So, so let's give...
I've got a bit of feedback. Bear with me. I'm just going to pause my stream. There we go.
Right. Give us your take on what you think is going on.
Get it off your chest.
With anything in particular, or are we looking at... Joined the show late. Apologies, Russ and Paul.
We're talking about this potential Artemis 2. Do we think it is real? Do we think there is people in a capsule going around the moon? Do we not?
You know what? I just think it's so rubbish. The whole sort of, they've had to pack suitcases next to the wall for radiation. It just makes me think, and then I think they were having problems with the toilet, and then they had problems with something else, and then it just seems like there were so many faults on it. It just seemed a bit weird. The photos were compelling. I think, people can actually go to observatories. Not that I've done this, but apparently you can, and look at it. You can actually go and see it yourself. That might be something that you want to do. But you can go and have a look at the first NASA landing. They put a little plaque on the moon that they can bounce laser beams off, so they can tell how far the moon's traveling away from us. But I think if I'm a gambling person, I think it probably has happened. There would be too much leaks. Too many people are doing too many different things for it to be a fake. Someone at some point would have solved this story by now.
I have to tend to agree with that end part. That's always gone through my head as well. but I also have to. I can't say look at the evidence because that's a bit of a far comment, but the videos that you see, obviously, with the flag is one, isn't it? You know, the flag standing upright, and it shouldn't be, I believe. We've got 2 forms of shadows when there should only be 1 form of shadow. I think we can describe it for anomalies in certain things, and it's like we talk about pareidolia, don't we? And we talk about the sort of things that could actually be there, but we always like to think there's something conspiracy wise. I think the issue is they've spent so much money doing what they've done. So many people have gone into space. You know, the chances of it not actually happening would be very slim for it to have dropped through all of those little fine loopholes before we sort of realise, it's this that's caused a conspiracy. We were right. So for me, I think, you know, if like I said, if I was a gambling man, I'd say yes, we've definitely done it. We've gone. It's interesting because we've had a lovely comment come in, and I think it just matches to what I'm going to say here. Nayland has put in, and myself, never come to your offence to belittle anyone. That's what I like about you all. We all respect each other's opinions. We're not a show that would actually belittle anybody in the matter, you know, because my opinion differs to yours, you know, but I have to sort of. I'm split right down the middle with the moon landing, and I hate to say it like it's going to sound, but I do generally sit on the fence with it.
You know what? I think we should do a live at a observatory, and I think we could, like, as a sideline, we could have a look through one of the telescopes and just see. It would be interesting. I mean, you know, I think it would. There's definitely conspiracy theories that I think are definitely true, you know. But I think, yeah, and I respect people's opinion. You know, it's not a cut or dry thing. There is evidence, you know, that points to the fact that it was fakery. I think there was a lot of money spent to do what they needed to do. But I think there was competition as well between Russia and America, as there is today. You know, so I think if one had faked it, it would have been sort of pointed out very clearly as a fake. That's kind of another reasoning why I think it probably did happen.
I think Paul wants to ask you a question.
Go on.
I just want to know if you could hear me.
I can hear you just.
Oh, right. I was just going to go back to when you said about, you know, people, the amount of people that would have had to keep quiet, someone would have let slip.
Sorry, Paul, I'm not sure I can hear you. You broke and then it just went again there. Oh, wonder of technology.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, I'll let you speak first, mate, and I'll make my point after if you can't hear me.
Can you hear him?
I can hear you, Russ, but Paul seems to break as he's like the first part of his conversation, and then it just drops again. Apologies. I'm also talking through your talk show, and so I'm fascinated to listen. So perhaps.
Let's try that again. Let's say this is all a test. Tonight is all test running.
Test.
Go again, Paul, and I'm going to mute my mic just in case we're getting feedback. All right?
Okay. I was just going to say about some of the interviews that Buzz Aldrin done when he was asked certain questions. And there was one at a university when someone said, what was the experience?
No, nothing at all, sadly. Apologies for cutting you over, Paul. If
no, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't know quite how I'll have to figure that one out. But try it this way. You talk now, Paul, and see what happens. Go.
Right. Can you hear me at all now, 50?
Perfect.
Right, I'll try. I'll try it again then. Going back to what you were saying about someone would have let slip and things like that. And don't forget, a lot of these were all ex-military. And when you talk about the original Apollo missions, when Buzz Aldrin done a lot of his interviews, he done one at a college. And when they said to him about his experience, and he clearly stated, well, we never went. And you see his face just change. And he started to talk about something else, and it was like he was quickly cut off.
That'd be interesting to watch.
There's a few instances where he does that, and not just him, other astronauts as well. The other thing I was going to say was when you say about the amount of people that have been to outer space, apparently from the original moon landings and what we're doing on Artemis 2, no one's actually gone out of lower Earth orbit. They're calling it going into space, but it's still lower Earth orbit. There's apparently no one's ever gone out since the moon landings into outer space.
And why would that be?
I'm assuming it's because of the radiation belt that you can't go past it, which is another thing that goes against the original moon landings. I'd like to know where this observatory is, though.
There's, I think there's one fairly locally. I'll do a bit of digging and I'll come back to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll try a double with a haunted one as well, but you never know. We might keep two things at once.
Well, we can get a live from an observatory. That would be great. What a great live that would be.
I'll try my best for you. I think there's a lot of things about litter in space. Have you heard that? We've gone up and done so much around, there's so much debris flying around the orbit of the Earth that at some point we won't be able to actually go out of the atmosphere at all because we'll strike one of these things. So that's quite an interesting sort of topic. We physically won't be able to get out there because we've dumped a lot of stuff in space. But I'll definitely come back to you and have a look because my line seems to be breaking up quite a lot now, Russ. So I'll let you get on with the talk show. But thanks for dropping me in.
Yeah, thanks for coming and joining us tonight. We appreciate your call.
Cheers, Paul. Cheers, Russ. Have a good evening and love the show.
Take care. Thank you ever so much.
Bye-bye.
Great guy.
Yeah, what a lovely guy. Thank you, 50 Wild Hogs, and thank you for your call. Make some valid points. And I think it definitely stems to how I feel about the whole moon landing stuff. Nayland has put, he finds it a valid point that the USSR would certainly have made a political point if
this day, if Russia come out and said something like that, the first thing it would just be dismissed as Russian disinformation. Don't believe what they say. In my eyes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, well, yeah, well, Putin reckons we didn't do it. Of course he does.
Yeah, I sort of have to see, I do see both sides of the argument, and this is why I say I have all the things that we debate on and have conversations with. This is the one that really does sort of stick. Well, I have to sit on the fence with it because I totally agree with, we're talking about the Van Allen belt. We're talking about the flag. We're talking about we've landed on the moon. We had pictures of the moon, the thing taking off, didn't we? We had pictures of it landing, and you think, well, how can it take pictures? Everything was a bit bizarre. But I also have to side with a point that 50 made was, how do they suppress this for so long? We've seen all these, we have all these whistleblowers that are on their deathbeds. talking about, oh, you know, it definitely happened. But we've had no one really come forward with any via proof. Okay, we loosely talk about, you said about Buzz Aldrin, did you? Was it, you know, questioning we never landed or whatever it was. So I get that side of it. But we've really had no one really come out and categorically say it never happened.
That we know of.
I think it would have been a thing. You know, someone would have picked up on that. You know, that it's
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you'd need as many people to be involved in it as you think. I think you could easily get away with that with just a few hundred people.
That's a few hundred people, though. That's a few
You've only
hundred
got to put
people.
all these people in a room and say, look, this is what we're doing. Everyone in control command and all that down at Houston. You've got all the screens up. Everything's lining up to what they're meant to be doing. They could just be coming through on the screen. They ain't got no idea if it's true or not.
Oh,
It's the same with anything that's gone on over the past. You're just going by what the masses tell us. You know, this is how there's always a debate. You've always got the left and the right, and it's the same. It's the same things, the same scenario. Conspiracy theorists, non-conspiracy theorists. You've got to have the two sides of the story. Well, who's right? On both sides, you'll throw a nutcase in. So the other side will look at that nutcase and go, "Oh, look at him! Look, of course, oh yeah, look, here's another one."
yeah.
Just to help debunk the side of the story, you know. And that's gone on over many different things, not just the space race and the moon landings and things like that. I used to be quite on the fence with it when I started looking into it, but I don't believe it at all now, I'll be honest. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I do really.
Or if we did, it's not the footage we saw.
But that goes against that conspiracy, you know, one of the big conspiracies that they met hostile, you know, you know, extraterrestrials, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't. But again, if it wasn't the three that we see that were meant to go up there. You know, they all got the Freemasons ring on.
Yeah.
Every time something comes up, the 33 comes into play. How many times has that come in, even in this mission? 33, the Masonic number. It just...
This one, I think, is easier to tell. Because
it seems to be, doesn't it?
Because I think it's our lifetime. You know, just to add a little more to the conspiracy, it's not possible to see the Apollo moon landers, rovers, and even human-made equipment on the moon, Earth-based observatory, or telescope. Just to add more to the conspiracy, it is not possible to see the Apollo moon landers, rovers, or human-made equipment on the moon from any Earth-based observatory or telescope. That's very interesting.
If it's true, yeah. Because apparently if the actual spot on the moon where they landed, we're looking straight at it. They wasn't round the other side of the moon, from what we've been told. So if it is up, this is the other thing that we said about the James Webb Telescope, Russ. It's supposed to be that powerful that you could see a bee hovering an inch above the moon's surface. Well, why didn't that do a test run on its way up and just have a look at the rover, the lander, and the footprints on the moon? If it was that clear and powerful. Or same again, when it got to 1 million miles away, turn around and have a little look at Earth. What's it look like from 1 million miles away?
Paul, I get it. I genuinely, I get it. It's, I honestly, out of all the subjects we talk about on any of these shows, this is the one that I have trouble with the most.
This is the one that I struggle with the most, because I'd love nothing more than for it to all be true. I love space. I love the idea of space. My favourite film's Interstellar. I watch it at least once a month. It's my go-to film. I love the idea of it. I'm just not seeing anything that's convincing me of it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm with you on this one. I'm with you. Okay, okay. From the other side, what would be the point of faking it?
Money.
See this one, okay? The Artemis 2 one. This is from Nayland. The Artemis 2 one, okay? I have no idea. I have no idea. I think the original moon landing was obviously the space race, wasn't it? That was key point of all this. Okay, so for me, there it's a massive tick box of, we know America loves to be first at everything, so why wouldn't they be? Let's get up there, let's do it. And for all intents and purposes, they've made a very good attempt of it, haven't they? They've made a great attempt of it, because it is a major debate. I should say a lot of people would believe it over non-believers. But this one, I have no idea. I totally don't. I have no idea. I do not know what the point of it is. Even faking it or not, if they're in it, I still have no idea. Because it was just sending people round to the dark side of the moon. Now, what is the need for that? What was we expecting? In all honesty, what was we expecting? It's a moon. I'm just looking it up at the sky. I would be hands-on to say what I'm going to see is what I'm seeing at the front.
I know.
Yeah. Right, so over 400,000 people worked on Apollo. Engineers, contractors, scientists across multiple companies and countries.
I'm not saying they didn't build a rocket, and they didn't build a rover, and they didn't build... I mean, you've already got the footage and the uncanny similarities of landscape on the island. I can't remember where it is now. Off the coast of Iceland, I think. And you even look on Google Earth, you see NASA equipment, yeah? I'm not saying these things ain't built and used. I'm just not sure they went up into space.
So are we saying the International Space Station is potentially...
Well, again, it's not in space, is it? It's low Earth orbit.
Yeah. So that's a possibility.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. That's a possibility. And we can see that with our naked eye, can't we, as well, when it goes across? So, not to say we can, but we're aware of it when it goes across the sky. If that's the thing.
But that's the ugly argument with that. That's meant to be travelling at a constant speed the whole time. Yet when you look at the footage that sends back from Earth, the speed's constantly changing. And the angles, like the zoom constantly changing. It should just be constant the whole time.
Paul, I'm with you, mate. I am absolutely with you that there is a mass conspiracy. This is probably one of the biggest conspiracies we talk about. Yeah, I think this is the one.
And we never know the truth. And I'm not going to say I'm 100% certain that I'm right, because I don't know that. I've just got my doubts. I don't believe it. There's something going on. but I don't know what it is.
Nayland Stuart has put, so is Musk's wish to go to Mars stumped before it starts?
Again, it's no different to the rest of us. That's your next step, isn't it? If you make it to the moon, Mars is the next closest planet. And they want to make Moon the staging point to get to Mars. But maybe that's part of the reason they're doing the mission. I don't know. If it's there.
And I know they've been designing the moon landing suit as well, haven't they? So it's got to withstand temperatures minus 200.
Minus 250 when the sun's not in it, and plus 250 when the sun is on it. But this is the other thing they don't talk about, like the film, especially in '69, the camera films and things like that. How on earth did all these things survive such temperatures? You literally got a 500-degree temperature range in a split second when that light hits. There's very few things that would ever survive that.
Paul, I'm with you. The more we talk about it, the more I see it. But I just draw myself back to the. I've had the same feeling for the same amount of years that we talk about this and talk about it. Someone would have come out by now. And someone would have. It doesn't matter, I know it can be suppressed. And that's all that goes through my head. And that is the only thing, Paul, and watchers and viewers, that's the only thing that I am clinging on to, that it is real. And if you was to sit here and do a chart or a spreadsheet or whatever you want and say, these are all the pros and these are all the cons, it would weigh up everything negative that it wasn't. And it just for me, it just goes back to that fine bit of someone knows and they're not saying it. And that is the only thing that is holding me back from it. Holding me back because, Paul, that
I'm pretty sure there has been, I'm pretty sure there has been. Or you see these people that are whistleblowers that talk about it and things like that they got it from that person and things like that. I just think, just because we don't remember that going on, or like you say, maybe we didn't hear of it, doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
Yeah,
just because
it is really bizarre. It is one of the things that baffles me. We do need some form of time travel machine. We do need some form of craft that can go and double check all these things out.
Well, we already know a lot of our history is a bleeding lie anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So look how much they blatantly lie now on record. And this is with everyone watching with social media and things like that. Imagine what they would have got away with in the past, with no mobile phones, no social media. You're literally going on. They would have got away with so much more. And people sitting there on their Sunday morning reading that paper, believing everything they're reading, going, "Oh, look at that!" And that's it. You're a believer. You're sucked in.
So, are you a believer of the rocket took off in both missions here?
Oh, I believe rockets are constantly taking off, yeah. I just don't believe they're going into outer space.
And going to the points that they're saying they're going. So they just...
I think they could quite easily be going into lower Earth orbit, above where planes can fly and things like that. And I think they'll all dip back down.
It does also, we talk about, one of these things that I talk about a lot, okay, and we've got this crystal clear picture that's come back how many thousand miles away? How many thousand miles away? Hundreds of thousands, okay? Crystal clear. We have the President of the United States of America talking to them. We have the President of Canada talking to them. We have Mission Control talking to them. And as I say it, we have just had a phone call from one of our listeners that is less than probably 5 miles away from me, and the technology sucks. But we can get a crystal clear, all bearing in mind it's delayed, back. These high resolution pictures sent back. Now, if someone said to me that they're taking all these pictures on a camera or some form of device and they have to wait till it gets back to be uploaded, I get that. Okay? That makes a little bit more sense to me. But when they're firing these pictures back of this crater on the dark side of the moon that no one has ever seen before, I'm like, that is a picture that we have never ever seen before, crystal clear. Absolutely, stunningly clear. And that's travelled millions of miles, in my eyes, hundreds of thousands, however it is, to space. I don't know. I don't know the exact calculations, but we are seeing it. They're having conversations on our telly, talking. There's the block again. And that's what I'm saying. I still put this in the con side of it. We're getting conned, but still that little bit doesn't allow me to outweigh it. Why does it? Why is it? We should have touched on that at the beginning of the show, actually. Old School Raver 72 has sent a message in, and he's just seen that Nick Pope has died. Sadly, in the week, a ufologist has died. A very controversial figure within the UFO world, the UAP world, the paranormal world. But it doesn't matter. He's still a part of the picture of the UFO realm. Love him or loathe him, you know, he still needs to rest in peace and to say thank you for getting his voice heard out of things. If you don't agree with some of the things he's put or written, that's still not an issue. You shouldn't have that issue in death. Do you know what I mean? You should just sort of pay your respects. So yeah, thank you, Old School Raver, for reminding me. We appreciate that, and from everybody at Journey Through the EGH Paranormal Talk Show, sends his family a lot of love and support at this horrible time. Very sad. Funny enough, I was just listening to an audio book of his that he wrote with Jim Penniston, and weren't Colonel Holt, it was the other one. Jim Penniston and John Burroughs, about the Rendlesham Forest incident. So I've been listening to that on the way to work and in the car, and it's very good. So for anyone that, go and have a look at that book. But yeah, rest in peace, Nick Pope. Right, back to, sorry, I went off topic, but still. Loads of comments coming in. Very good show for comments, so I like it's working. The only things that I can't see if TikTok is working with comments. It's the only ones that we haven't had in, or we've had Facebook because of that, just not TikTok. During the Apollo missions, thousands of amateur radio operators, hams, around the world tracked the signal coming from the command module and lunar module. To receive the signal, hams had to point their high gain antennas directly at the moon. If the signals were being faked from Earth, the antennas would have had to point towards a terrestrial radio tower. I say, yeah, I don't generally know. So that's probably saying that there was a line of sight to something in lower Earth orbit. Stuart said, I was in a show with Nick Pope. Oh, what sort of show? That's interesting. Let us know what you was in, Stuart. Yeah, I say I don't know how command modules and that directly have to point to antennas, directly point to the moon. Still, high gain antennas in the 1960s compared to what we've got 5G now, that still is the biggest load of cock that I've ever heard. Sorry to swear.
But that wouldn't have made sense anyway if it was all round the world. Because if all round the world had to point upwards, you wouldn't be pointing towards the moon.
Sorry, go again, Paul.
I said if they were picking it up all around the world, if everyone around the world was pointing their antennas up, then only a third, half of them would be pointing in the direction of the moon.
So my question would be, these amateur radio operators tracked the signal coming from command module and the lunar module. So I'm assuming they picked up a signal from that. I'm assuming.
I mean, how long was they actually on the moon for?
I don't know. Do you want me to have a Google? Do you like
I was just thinking. If they were broadcasting for like 12, 24 hours.
Long was man on the moon. This show's live as we speak, guys. How long was man on the moon? Right, Apollo 11, first landing. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin spent approximately 21.5 hours on the surface of the moon in July 1969, with only about 2.5 hours of that time spent walking outside the lunar module. So it was on the craft. I'm assuming the craft landed for 21.5, but they walked around for 2.5 hours. Apollo 17, longest landing. Harrison spent nearly 3 days, about 75 hours on the lunar surface in December 1972, including over 22 hours of moonwalks. So, not a lot.
Well, you say not
2
a lot.
hours.
I mean, if that's true, that's still.
It's just if they've landed for what, just shy of 4 hours off a day, which, yeah, but only they spent 2.5 hours that time walking on the moon. So the module landed for 21 hours, so getting ready, blah blah blah, sitting on the moon, and things like that. So,
yeah, that don't make sense either, does it?
Mission
Mind
break.
you, when you see the state of the lunar module, the lunar lander, my good God, curtain poles and tin foil. I'll be a bit worried to step outside and all.
On the moon. That's new to me, but so Apollo 11. A mission breakdown. Apollo 11 was 21 hours and 36 minutes, July 1979. Apollo 12, 1 day, 7 hours and 3 minutes, November 1979. Apollo 14, 1 day, 9 hours, 30 minutes, February 71. Apollo 15, 2 days, 18 hours, 55 minutes, July-August 71. Apollo 16, 2 days, 23 hours and 2 minutes, April 72. And Apollo 17, 3 days, 2 hours and 59 minutes in 1979. The later missions 15, 16 and 17 stayed significantly longer because they brought the lunar roving vehicle, allowing for more extensive exploration and utilised updated lunar modules that allowed for better sleep and longer term short stay living.
I mean, they were going up, what, once, twice a year?
Well, yeah, Apollo 11 and 12 was in the same year, and that was July and November. Apollo 14 and 15 were the same year, February, July, August. And Apollo 16 and 17 was 72, April, in the same year, April, December.
But then didn't the original missions only take like 7 days and things like that? And yet this one's taking 10 days, going at 25,000 miles an hour, by the way. This is why I don't buy it. They're going up twice a year and then all of a sudden stop for 50 years. I know, we can't do that. Yeah, they're laughing. We've lost the technology. He was doing it twice a year.
I'm with you. Paul, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. I'm not sitting here and denying the fact. I can't. But I just get that one little thing I can't get out of my head. That's the only thing. I cannot get it out of my goddamn head. Stuart, he was on a show. It was when I worked in Kent and had a chance to go on TV's chat show about UFOs. The host was, I can't remember the name, it's supposed to be the UK's version of Jerry Springer. Would it be Jeremy Kyle? Would it be someone like that? Must have been.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? You had Kilroy Silk as well. Then we had Kilroy. So yeah, I
just want to think of the names.
But no, we've come to the end of this test show, guys. We have got a show out of it. I didn't think we was. I know we've got to still iron a few tweaks and get everything working. We have taken a phone call, which is even more.
Which went all right in the end.
Yeah. I just had to work out how Paul could hear. But other than that, it's worked. I'm very happy. I say it's a different form. I will change, obviously, what the people are seeing over the coming weeks. This is just a test. Hopefully that we can get Paul and that to see the chats as well. Thank you for everybody that has commented in. You have really helped that side of things, guys. So I can only apologise for the first 20 minutes of the show because I did promise you it was going to be car crash. Okay? So that is one thing I lived up to. But I knew it was going to be because I was absolutely a brick before we went live on air. But thank you ever so much. Once again, thank you, Mr. Paranormal Paul. Test show was fine. Good night. Thank you for watching, Heidi. Thank you for watching. Everybody that's watching, I do appreciate it. Okay? Take care, guys. Stay safe. And we will see you all next week.